Good afternoon. We are in Canberra, Australia for the wedding of Natalie and Jason. Natalie being Sheila's granddaughter. And as you can see, we're at the Macedonian Orthodox Church. Beautiful day. It's Saturday, May the 7th, 2005, and we're in the suburbs of Canberra, as you can see. Just about to go to this service. Well, as you can see, the wedding is actually over now. We didn't like to take a video inside, but we've taken a lot of still photographs, and it's very, very interesting.
I'm sure Natalie will be happy with that.
Well, that's true too. Been there, done that before. Kingston title, Lana Grove.
It's Sunday morning, and we are about to have a bit of a tour of Canberra. But as you can see, the hotel is in front of us here, the Crane Plaza. Very, very nice. And we are about to go and look at some of the parks. You can hear the noise in the background. There's a big building site adjacent to the hotel, and even working on a Sunday. So let's go and see Canberra. We've walked into more as the centre of Canberra, and we have this beautiful lake here with a nice little bridge with someone we know on it. And here in the background on the other side of the lake we have some of the national buildings in Canberra, and in the centre of the frame these are the new Parliament buildings, and the steel structure on top, I am given to understand, represents 4 boomerangs, to acknowledge the part that the Aboriginal people here in Australia have played in the history of the country. But it's a beautiful spot, and we're going to just walk on and see what else is on show. Well, there's the Capitol building in the distance. And just look at these views. We've just walked around the lake shore on the pathway you can see in the foreground, and it's a beautiful idyllic spot. Lovely temperature, I suppose it's in the low 70s, not a cloud in the sky, and autumn is with us, as you can possibly see by the colour of the trees. In the distance here we have the sort of communications tower along with a revolving restaurant, and down here amongst the various national embassies you can see in the foreground here the Japanese embassy, but I believe, is that the Japanese flag or Canadian flag? Looks like the Canadian flag. We certainly walked past the Canadian embassy. Just panning back and around. In front of us here is the what is called the old Parliament buildings, which were vacated just a few years ago. Obviously now sort of just general government office buildings, and they then constructed the new Parliament buildings which we see here. As I said earlier, the steel structure on top is supposedly in the shape of 4 boomerangs, to acknowledge the part that the Aborigines have played in the history of the country. We're going to walk up here, and hopefully we may in fact be able to make a tour of the buildings.
Well, come on this way.
Nice little water feature in front of the buildings. We've moved inside the Parliament buildings, and we've moved into the gallery for the House of Representatives, which, as you can see, is beautifully furnished, albeit in a very sort of modern style for obvious reasons, but rather impressive. Being a Sunday, of course, there's nothing happening today. We've now moved from the House of Representatives to the Senate, and the Senate basically is sort of equivalent to our House of Lords. Very similar in design and layout to the House of Representatives, but as you can see, the colour schemes are entirely different, but very nice indeed. This is the old Parliament buildings we saw previously, but from the opposite side, and it's a sort of memorial type day today, and there's like a Second World War concert being given. All of the staff and singers and band are dressed in army uniforms, etc., and singing the songs of the period. And it's very interesting. There's a bit of a campsite here with Aboriginal people who I believe are making a protest to the national government for various reasons, which I'm not aware of. But it's now coming up to 4:45 in the afternoon. The sun's just starting to go down. Beautiful light, lovely temperature, and there's some nice fountains. And there's this woman again that just keeps getting in the picture. Thinks she's lost. Let's go and rescue her, shall we? It's Monday, and we left Canberra this morning, and we've driven from Canberra to Sydney, found our way around the outskirts of Sydney, and then on up in a northerly direction to the outskirts of Newcastle. We're actually just south of Newcastle, and these lights in the distance are just as the sun is setting, and obviously are the lights of Newcastle, which we'll be driving through tomorrow. Now we'll have a look at this view in the morning. Well, good morning. It's Tuesday, the 10th, and this is exactly the same view as we were looking at last night, with the lights of Newcastle down there in the distance. But as you can see, we have the sea in the distance here, which is actually obviously the Pacific Ocean. And as I talk to you from our balcony on the hotel, there are a few spots of rain falling, which is unusual, but there we go. Forecast is for the occasional shower. And a matter of interest, just this is the car that we've got on hire, and the Hyundai Getz. Anyway, I'm getting wet. It's Tuesday evening, and we have travelled about 500 kilometres north up the Pacific Highway to Coffs Harbour, where we are staying in a hotel called the Opal Cove Hotel, Opal Cove Resort, and behind us here is the hotel, and very fortunate We have a bedroom on the 4th floor, looking out over the sea, which is this one here in the centre of the frame. We're just going to wander down onto the beach, and maybe I can get another view of the hotel, etc. from there. It has also got a 9-hole golf course on the other side of the hotel, so hopefully may even get a few holes in tomorrow. We've walked down this little path from where I was taking the previous picture onto the beach, and just look at this beautiful fine sand. Fairly calm sea, I suppose, considering it's the Pacific. It's now coming up to 4:30 in the afternoon, and of course one of the things you get as we're moving further north is that it gets dark earlier. It gets dark about 6 o'clock in the evening, and again it doesn't get light until about 6:30 in the morning. We have a couple of islands out here. And according to the information in the hotel bedroom, we can actually take a whale watching trip from mid-May onwards around these islands, and they have a 90% success rate of watching or seeing whales. Good morning. It's Wednesday morning. It's 6:15 in the morning, and this is the beautiful sunrise you can see coming up over the Pacific. Really beautiful. Well, this is about 10 minutes later. The sun has just arisen, as you can see. It's just above the horizon behind the clouds. But this has this different effect on the colours, etc. It's beautiful. Very fortunate to be able to see this. Here we are later in the morning. I've climbed up some steps on the edge of the beach, and as you can see, this is the beautiful view I've got. The morning's turned out a little bit cloudy, but we're very shortly to leave on the next phase of our trip up to Brisbane. But just to show you, this is the hotel we're staying in, and our bedroom is literally on the top floor there, virtually in the centre of the frame. Very nice indeed. Just continue climbing the steps and have a look over. Now we're at the top of the steps I've mentioned, and just panning around, we actually can see into the adjoining cove and another cove further up the coastline there. All deserted, as you can see, but very pleasant indeed. And of course the two islands in the distance. Welcome to Cape Byron, which is the most easterly point in the whole of Australia, and obviously this is the lighthouse on the headland. And would you believe it, it's actually raining quite steadily. Temperature's obviously dropped, but we have a magnificent beach in front of us, as you can see, and I just walk over here steadily, and I believe we can see some lads down here surfing somewhere. Well, there's one or two down there. Two more out here, I believe. Just there. Anyway, let's go and have a look at the lighthouse. We've just walked up towards the lighthouse a little bit, but looking into the bay down here, we believe there are some dolphins you can just see. You can just see them there. They just seem to be sort of holding steady in the water. That's the nearest I can bring the camera up to them. Gosh, fascinating. I suppose we're about 200 to 300 feet above sea level just here on the headland, so they're probably a little bit larger than what they make out to be on the screen. Well, gosh, there's quite a few there. So what, 40, 50? Oh, look at that, yeah. obviously the lighthouse itself. My good lady. And the most easterly point of the Australian mainland. And just look at this this view we have here. Beautiful spot. Just a great shame that the weather is as it is. Yesterday was just absolutely stunning again. Every day's been stunning up till today. Just reading the information here that from mid-May until sort of November time, we have the possibility of seeing whales passing just quite close inland here as they migrate from the Antarctic up to the Great Barrier Reef where they feed and raise their young. Beautiful spot. Again, a great shame the weather is letting us down for the first time on our holiday. Hello, it's Wednesday morning and we've moved on, and last night we stayed in a hotel in Burleigh Heads, which is about 50 kilometres south of Brisbane, and we just sort of come up the coast a little bit, and this is called Surfer's Paradise. And as we stand here, it's spitting with rain, another dull and damp day, whereas we understand down in Canberra it's still absolutely glorious. But let's just have a look around. This is obviously the seafront. The beach is absolutely marvellous, beautiful sand. And some lads out here waiting for the appropriate surfing waves to come in. Anyway, I suppose we should just get wet while we're waiting. Anyway, very nice spot. Just a great shame about the English weather we seem to be experiencing today. Anyway, off to see some more.
Another look at the pilot.
The other one's
We don't want to come. One better than no, Mark.
Slowly did it again, like crossing the tree like that.
As you can see, we're now in Brisbane, or north of Brisbane, with David and Joan, and We've come to Steve Irwin's zoo, where there's obviously a mixture of all the indigenous Australian wildlife, especially crocodiles. And we're about to see a show, and hopefully Steve Irwin will be involved.
Got the whole crew here. Got Benny, Basil and Terry. I think I love them in that order. Oh no, sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're very proud to welcome the Federal Minister for Agriculture, Forestry and also Fisheries to Australia Zoo. I gather it's been a while and we've changed the Minister. It's our pleasure to welcome you, and also we're very proud to have Stephen Terry and Australia Zoo to work with the government on this very important project. Welcome.
And the whole crew. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Australia Zoo today for a special launch. A couple of years ago we were here to launch some new commercials which featured Steve the crocodile hunter telling people around the world about how valuable Australia was and how we wanted to keep it free of pests and diseases. Well, the time's come for us to launch some new commercials. The last set were fantastically successful. They raised the awareness of quarantine and the importance of quarantine right around the world. You know, there aren't many countries that are as free of pests and diseases as Australia.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you very much. And our invited guest, Makelas. Wow, what a day. It's nice.
Very inquisitive. Sorry about that, I do apologise for the mic. Alrighty, as you can see, Shane's already started the show off. He's getting into the water. The tigers are one of two big cats that enjoy playing in the water, the other being the jaguar. So you can see Shane here running around. He's going to pull out some toys. Now I will warn you that our toys are low budget, and the reason for this is they don't last very long. So Tigers' idea of fun is to destroy and rip apart anything. So you can see Shane here getting their attention. We've got some stalking behaviours here. You see getting down really low. Whoops. Get a big jump here. Oh. Dear me. Now, remember you're supposed to launch in after him and drown him. Now, Shane does have other reserves. He's got another toy to get them interested. But tigers are known to be crepuscular animals, which means they do most of their hunting and activity at dawn and dusk. So one way for us to get them active here in the middle of the day, one of the hottest parts of the day, is to encourage them with toys, get them running about, and hopefully get them into the water for you. You may notice that their front paws are quite sensitive. When they do get wet, you might see here, they flick it about, they don't like them to get too wet. But once they do get into the water, their level of activity does pick up, and they start to run about and go a bit silly. So you can see here with Shane, they're running about. It's all very fun, and once they're fully, good boy, give him a round of applause, guys. So I can assure you now, Jupiter's activity is going to pick up. He's going to get very excited, and the tiger's idea of fun playing in the water is to actually pin the handle down, watching the bubbles come up as we gasp for air. So that's why you will see the spotters following around. And bush predators, they do like to take the handlers by surprise as well. Very sneaky, but that's why we do have our spotters along the fence line. So if something does get a little out of hand and they have a bit too much fun, that's when one of our teammates will actually come and help us out. You see Shane trying to get their attention hiding in the grass back here. Jupiter's just having fun on his own, swimming in the pool. And there's obviously different smells on the ground. So obviously before they did have other animals in here, and so he's just sniffing it out, checking out the different smells. But I might send you on to, we might get a bit of a hit here. No. Alrighty, who'd like to see something a little cute and cuddly?
They do have relatively short wings. Once again, with such a dense rainforest, they can't really afford to have a really long and large wingspan because they'll damage their wingspans and zoom in out towards trees should they need to. So they're very well adapted to living in those types of environments. birds require a lot of enrichment, a lot of stimulation and education to be in captivity successful, and if they don't, they end up feather plucking, pacing, and having all sorts of behaviours that have no real significance.
The species of crocodile is very shy and secretive. They've had humans shooting at them for hundreds of years. So they just remain concealed beneath that murky water. You can see what he's doing now, he's stalking me. He can actually feel the vibrations of my footsteps. So he can move in exactly where I am, have a look at that, without even surfacing. Come on, boy. Come on, mate. Good boy. Okay, so this is young Norman. You see there, he moved right into that shallow water and there was nothing on the surface. There was no ripples. He didn't have to pop up at all. He just used those vibration detectors, lining the underside of his jaw. He's got thousands of these dense nerve endings. And as he moved into that shallow water, he actually had his eyes open. He's got a clear set of eyelids that slides across his eyes, so you can see my silhouette against the background of the sky.
His back legs, pulling them in tight, just beneath the water there. Doing good. Good boy, that was a good strike. Okay, now you can see as Norman comes out, he swings from side to side, he's really hoping to come in contact with something. If he was to swing and hit down, he would clamp down straight away. Good boy, Norman. So what he does is he sticks his tail down towards the bottom, angles his head up, and he uses that tail again to propel himself up and out of the water. He can get as high up as his back legs, straight up and out of the water. See how his eyesight's very movement orientated?
They've got about 64 to 70 teeth, and behind those teeth they can generate about 3,000 pounds per square inch closing jaw pressure. Now that sounds like a big number. To try and put that in perspective, Norman, between his jaws, he has the same amount of pressure as the brakes in a jumbo jet. So that's phenomenal. If Norman grabbed a hold of something like a feral pig, if he grabbed it right on the head, he'd just kill it instantly. If he was to grab that pig and drag it back in the water and then raise it up and just squash down, that pig would just blow out like the
tail. Normie.
Now you notice as Norman goes throughout the demonstration, he actually slows down quite a lot. See, they're not designed for these extended periods of energy consumption. They're not like us mammals. We eat 3 good meals a day, we can go and run marathons if we want. The crocodiles, they don't have that kind of stamina. They're designed for one hard and fast burst of energy to make that kill and to get himself a bit of food. So this is quite unnatural for Norman to do 6 or 7 strikes. But out in the wild, he'd have that one burst, and then he'd have that fight while he's trying to pull that animal back into the water and go about drowning it. So we asked him to do quite a bit of work just to keep them in such good condition. You see, they're an incredibly intelligent animal. If we were just to walk in here and throw Norman a bit of food every day, he would learn that he doesn't have to do anything. So he'd just sit at the water's edge and he'd become extremely fat and lazy. So we really do ask them to work for it. Now, as Richard was mentioning about the fatalities here in Australia, you've all seen today exactly how to avoid the crocodile. I mean, all you have to do is stay out of their water and back from the water's edge. If crocodiles are really dangerous and if they could run fast like all the other predators, myself and Richard, we would have been out of a job a long, long time ago. They're an incredibly easy animal to work around and an easy animal to live alongside. All you have to do is avoid their territory in the water and at the water's edge. That's where they do all of their hunting, mating, sleeping. So if you just leave them alone, you really will never, ever have a problem.
Now you think Norman's sitting there not watching everything, he's watching our every move. And how close we are, we can see exactly where his eyes are looking. And if you look at his body posture, he sits his back legs like this, his little front feet forward, and if we were to make a mistake and walk alongside of him, he wouldn't be able to grab us quick enough in his own act.
Water dragon or a small goanna. Looks more like a water dragon in the shape of the head.
It should be more kangaroos, you know.
There's probably heaps of them, we just haven't seen them yet. This area here is huge. There's one with a joey. You saw your bag.
Do you like my bag or my green hat? Which do you want? Hey? Which do you want?
See the size of the tail. Here's the joey, just stuck his head out.
Oh, look.
Obviously the little joey is quite thirsty, trying to feed from its mother.
This one's got his little head out too. Look at that. Do you have Mason, would you? This hair in here looks like a penguin.
That's an Anking. Remember I've seen several of those. They've got a very short neck with a cannon. You've got to be 2-3 pounds a metre. There's one up on the log. Looks like a cormorant, doesn't it? Some sort.
Yeah. Its wings look like a cormorant's wings.
Presumably these are free to fly if they fly away if they want to, David.
I don't know.
They can fly if they want.
Unless they've been clipped in
unless
some
they've
way
been
or
clipped,
other,
yes.
I don't know.
But this is a jabiru.
Jabiru, yeah. It's a stork.
Do you see how he's down on his legs, Tony?
Oh yes?
Yeah, he's going to stand up for you, there you are. Just to, I know.
No. Oh. Oh, now we know why.
That's why he stood up.
Did you see him urinating?
No. Yes.
That's something.
Ethan, if you do that again, you'll have to go sit in the wagon with Daddy.
Oh, he's so cute. Thanks.
This is a kookaburra bird. We'll just go the other side and see if we can get any closer.
It's giving me the eye. See how he's got his legs folded up, whereas the other one over there stood up straight.
Mm.
He's got his legs folded up just now. He's standing up now. Mm. Mm. He must be stalking something. But it's very hard to crack.
Yeah.
They come, Mary and Tony come to Brisbane last time. So they just flew into Sydney. We didn't bring them here, did we?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure if they've been here or whether they came here the first time or what. Beautiful.
That's not a cockatiel.
No. This one, Tony. Beautiful emerald pigeon standing up and oh, it's like no.
This is an emerald, an emerald pigeon.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a dove, yeah. Piece of dove. No, that's the Teresium one, isn't it? No, the one we've got, oh, I'd have to see the front. No, that's not, that's the Teresium one, isn't it? That's the bar-neck dove, that one. And this pigeon in the... got? Come and have a look at this one, Tony. Oh, that's the other one. That's an eclectic parrot. There's another one. No, that's a crimson rosella. This one's the eclectic. The one up in the tree over there is a crimson rosella. I think. I'm getting one below, that's the glossy ibis, one that's preening himself.
Yes.
That's a native ibis as opposed to the big white ones which are migratory ones. Yeah? You like being pictured, do you? You like a picture being taken? I haven't seen that you know the bird show, they had those two lorikeets that were not rainbow lorikeets, but red ones. There were two of them in there on the ground just now.
The screen tree for the front of the farm is like that with a special treatment, but could easily do that. Affecting
And here at the zoo, this is Byro and Kato.
Do you just solely work with wombats, or do you work with the other ones?
We have a section that wombats falls under, and it's a sort of native mammals, but we look after the otters as well.
Let's
go. Ready? Come on, walk on. So yeah, see how they got beef and Byro? So they do have it on some of them, most of them. It was a pretty big lead though.
This is in case they don't want to walk.
They get the harness off, they know that means a walk.
What have we got in the mix, Laura?
Everything.
Standard is in the mix. Yeah. Mint, storage,
You don't give me an eyeball.
Like, crikey.
Look up.
Come on, model, where's the camera?
Second. And look back down.
You've got the wrong person if you want a model.
Work that
I'm just going to play with you.
I've got the cutest faces that you can see. Out of the way. They're so shy. One blue.
Okay? And they can actually eat up to 1/3 of their own body weight. So to put that in proportion, they're eating, if you weigh 60 kilograms, then you're eating 20 kilograms of food a day, every day. That's how much food they're eating. It's a lot of food.
Is there only one?
I think so.
How did you go to Freddie?
Oh, it must be very lonely.
Just such unusual colours, aren't they?
Yeah.
But they're not native to here, are they? Or
Yes,
they are?
up around Tully.
Yeah, I knew they were north. Did you
North
see
Queensland.
them?
I think I've seen most of it.
I think we've seen everything really. I don't think there's anything.
Just that little bit of the shop, just before we go in.